Hello, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Alex Crothers. I run the Machine Commons, and with me is Steve from Combined Intelligence in the UK. We're super proud to present a new offering where the Machine Commons has been growing a collective of specialist businesses all around the world, and we found that we sort of naturally gravitated towards Europe. And so, alongside the fact that we noticed that clients really need a bit of not hand holding, but definitely some strategic guidance when it comes to deciding on high level machine learning spend. I mean, artificial intelligence is a confusing technology. It's a cluttered market. And we were really looking for some regional expertise in the UK in order to help us expand into that market and serve our clients best.
Thanks, Alex. Hi, everybody. Good to be here. I'll sort of give you a brief intro. I suppose I run an organization called Combined Intelligence, which specializes in helping organizations with intelligent technologies in the UK. So very much centered around artificial intelligence, intelligent process automation, augmented analytics, and so on. And it sort of recognizes that AI, as Alex was saying, is a complicated and diverse field. And a lot of organizations now realize and appreciate that there is great potential for AI within their business, but they don't yet necessarily understand how it can work for them. And that diversity in AI means that for some, that might just be, an AI chatbot, for example. For others, it might be a more in-depth machine learning project or a custom specialist solution in manufacturing or wherever it is. Bridging that gap in knowledge, in capability, in vision, strategy, and so on is something that we very much sort of come into. And that's where our sort of interest and focus is with our client base, which is why us joining up with Machine Commons is very exciting for us because of the depth and breadth of capability, applications, platform, solutions, skills within the collective that will allow us to bring that much bigger offering to the UK.
Yeah, and it sort of comes, I think you said something interesting there, connecting to vision. It seems to be that different companies are at all different stages along their AI journey. And I think being able to walk into a new client and help them no matter where they are on that journey. Because from a specialist perspective, I mean, we represent a huge variety of different consultancies, some more generic as data specialists or data consultancies in general, some highly specific, like down to a specific type of animal being scanned and analyzed through computer vision in a medical environment or a pharmaceutical drug development environment. And everything from business intelligence, marketing, e-commerce optimizations, manufacturing, predictive analytics, robotic process automation. There's so many different specialists offering so many different services that, to be honest, it became very difficult for us as an organization to organize it. We took a first step by categorizing all of our suppliers according to an almost endless list of keywords and an extensive taxonomy, but then gravitated towards use cases. And then when I first met Steve a year and a half ago, and we were talking about all the different use cases, it was very clear that we lacked that ability to connect to vision, exactly as you just said, Steve, the ability to connect use cases to vision. Because it's all well and good to want a specific capability, but if it isn't in line with company objectives, wider strategy, then it's basically wasted investment.
Yeah, and I think that is very important. The number of technology projects, not just AI, but sort of technology projects in general, that have almost been vanity or sort of leading edge projects where the organization says, oh, this is nice new bit of technology, let's use it, but then don't really have that connection between, well, actually, what we're going to use it for, what's the benefit to our organization, how is it going to help our growth, how is it going to actually develop what we offer to our clients or how we interact with our clients. And that connection, and sometimes it's that divide between the sort of the technical function within a business and then the business side of it not really being connected, and you have a technology project for technology's sake. And we're very keen on that. Well, actually, a technology project is for a business purpose, whether that's an operational purpose, whether that's a product and services to market purpose or an interaction with customer purpose. There needs to be a reason behind it and a targeted business outcome. One of the big challenges with AI, and you've seen it, I think, in the process automation world as well, where a lot of people have jumped at the opportunity, perhaps had some initial success, but then struggled a lot to turn that into a production solution that then really gives them the volume of benefit and improvement or customer offering that they really wanted to. And it's sort of that full life cycle as well. That's sort of the key element here of saying, we want a good vision for the business that has a strategy on how we're going to realize that and how we can use these modern and advanced technologies. But then actually in realizing it, we've got some challenges, and I'm sure we'll touch on whether in this conversation or a future one about the challenges of data and processing and labeling and all of those sort of things around AI. But ultimately, it's converting that into a solution that's for a business purpose and getting it live and getting it in use and actually getting that acceptance from the business, the operational teams perhaps, that solution is there and it's giving them benefit and it's delivering the outcomes that the business needs.
Yeah, so I sort of liken that to a bit of a baton exchange where in order for the machine commons and our suppliers to do a good job, in order for engineers to deliver, they need a good brief, right? They need to be briefed specifically. You need to foresee risks and they need to know exactly what they're trying to achieve, not least of which so that they can leverage experience from their other client projects so that they know roughly what direction they're going in. And I think that's kind of where you hand over to us in a way. And that's the service or the value that I see Combined Intelligence and you, Steve, fulfilling, helping basically brief the engineering consultancies in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely one of the areas we come from. That ability to bridge from business need, shall we say, to a technical understanding, and to ensure through the life cycle that we don't lose sight of that business need, and therefore what we get out at the end of it is what we wanted at the start. That sort of that is key. And we do appreciate that a lot of our clients don't have that capability in house. And often it's not realistic for a lot of organizations to build that case. So, it's an ongoing relationship that we like to have with our clients, as well as sort of the project-centered approach and giving support and help through delivery of a particular solution.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefit to working with an agency. And I think the benefit to working through the MCC Alliance is that not only will you be supported at the highest level of management with strategy and vision, but once you've set that company-wide strategy, and it's kind of not good enough to set a specific tactic for one sub-component of a problem within a specific department, it makes far more sense to try and set a strategy at a sort of company level, or at least that's the goal, right? And then backed by the machine commons, whether you're looking to optimize your accounting processes or to install RPA robots on your customer service support desks, or to install predictive analytics in your manufacturing to forecast things going wrong before they go wrong and save costs. But whatever it is that you're trying to do, by holding one relationship with MCC via Combined Intelligence and then supported by a global array of specialists, it really is a one-stop shop of specialists.
Yes, that specialist need is a key one. We recently did a project that was looking at acoustic data, and we brought in a specialist who was familiar with acoustics and how to process them, manipulate them, and use machine learning to actually come up with a classification or a regression solution for it. But knowing that knowledge of how, we had to do a lot of dimensionality reduction, for example, because we had the usual problem of not having massive volumes of labeled data. So to make this work, we reduced the dimensions, but being able to understand and how to process that acoustic data in the right way to not lose the information it contains was key. So, that connectivity with people, and it is a very diverse, universe that we're talking about here, the aspects of different aspects of AI from, this was processing acoustic signals, but, you could look at it from a computer vision perspective in manufacturing, for example, detecting faults. It might be, a natural language processing problem, understanding particular contexts within a certain industry, for example. So the diversity is there, and the machine commons provides us access to a skill set and a pool of people that covers all of that diversity. And that's, the exciting thing for us is that we can engage with clients, we can work with them to understand the potential within their business for the application of intelligent technologies. But then we can talk to Machine Commons, yourself, Alex, and the wider collective to find people and solutions in many cases that are the right fit for that particular problem set. That can cut and reduce the effort for the client massively. If they can come in with a capability that's close to what they need, then that allows them to realize the benefits a lot quicker than if they're trying to do something from scratch and just use the generic AI platforms, for example, to achieve that.
That's so right. And on top of that, at least in the few high-level briefs that we've been across recently, problems are often multifaceted. It's sometimes that one specialist isn't enough. In fact, I've been reading a lot about this recently, the need in the world for that perfect combination of generalists on the way in and specialists kind of in the long run. And in so many problems, you actually need multiple specialists to do multiple specific things that ladder back to a single objective, which are tied together by those generalists at the top, the strategy and the objectives, the wider objectives of the business. So yeah, we're really excited. I think we're both really excited by this partnership. We're able to basically deliver kind of very large scale consultancy results and the same quality of service as any large consultancy, but without any of the overheads that a large consultancy would have. I mean, this is the ultimate definition of agile. Individual specialists are only brought in as and when required, and moreover, they have to pitch for the right to be at the table within the Machine Commons pitch process. So before a client even meets a specific supplier, before Steve makes any kind of recommendation, there's already been several levels of filtration to ensure that the perfect personnel are looking at the problem at hand.
Yeah, I say, equally excited about the opportunity here. You're right. It's what we provide is that ability to find the best answer for the client and the best provider of the right solution for that client, rather than being a big provider who always looks inside and always wants to try and bend an existing capability or an existing platform to do something that perhaps it wasn't designed for. And that's the advantage by using this sort of collective approach of picking the best and picking the optimal solution for particular clients. So yeah, exciting times ahead.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to future episodes where we can discuss, or future versions of this content where we can discuss perhaps more specific problems. If you guys want to hear anything, challenges that Steve or I have faced, if you want to learn more, anything, please drop some kind of question in the comment box. We'll look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for listening. Contact information is on the screen right now. Don't hesitate to get in touch.